Yo, what's up, everybody? So I'm just gonna get this link up for everybody and wait a few minutes for people to join here. Just gonna wait around here. I'll give it a few minutes. I'm gonna post this to the group as well. Ellie, we're just waiting for some people to come join us right now. I don't know if it's lagging. I'm just kind of getting all the configurations and settings. Perfect. Ellie, come say hi to everybody. Come. Come. You want some? Come on. Okay, Ellie. You can come say hi to the viewers while everybody is waiting to join. I don't expect too many people to join, but we'll just give it a few good minutes. You want to say hi to the camera, Ellie? This is Ellie. She's a toy poodle, 7 months old. Is there a lot of echo? Okay, my gain's too high then. No worries. This should be a lot better now. Okay, I don't want to start with hundreds of people joining in. But the goal of this, every single day, I'm going to be doing a daily morning stream and possibly an evening one as well. And we're going to cover a few points from technical analysis. So today we're going to be covering coin market cap, Bitcoin's daily close, which was pretty nasty, followed by a 7% drop. We're going to follow up on SNX and the waves rally. And now that they've dropped tremendously, a huge drop. We'll go over that as well. Then we're going to go over Cryptolume scanning to see if I can find some really hot coins for us to trade today. Then we'll go over STEP.APP and STEP.N and then the public portfolio. That's what I've outlined for us today. So the goal of these daily morning streams is to find us day trading opportunities and quickly catch you up from a technical analysis perspective. And of course, we still have to consider the macro perspective as well. We have to consider the interest rate hikes. We have to consider gigantic companies like Three Arrows Capital getting liquidated, right? Celsius Network as well. And there's a lot of macro and fundamentals involved as well. But that's not the point of this channel. I'm going to keep it really brief every morning, perhaps 10 to 15 minutes. I grew this account pretty amazing already, from literally 1,000 to 5, because I moved everything in my spot over to my public portfolio with you guys, and we're gonna go over that in detail as well today. So let's get started with coin market cap, and hopefully today we can make a few $1,000s. My target goal today is anywhere between 3 to 5, considering Bitcoin dropped to the downside today tremendously. So the first thing that I would recommend that you guys always do when you get on the computer is always go to coin market cap and just glance at the market very generally, okay? So we can see that market capitalization has dropped because of the Bitcoin 7% drop already. And the second thing that I always do is I check out just the general graphs, okay? Just looking at it, we see that Bitcoin reached the peak. Here was the bottom. And now that it's reached the peak, we can see it rallied. And now the dip is beginning. And a lot of coins have followed it, right? Ethereum has followed it as well. We see BNB has followed it as well here. We see Cardano's followed it. It reached the peak, it dropped. It reached the peak and it dropped. It reached the peak and it dropped. Pretty much every single coin, you'll see something like that happen. Except some of the odd ones, you'll see still going up, such as Leo. Leo's still going pretty heavily to the upside right now. But generally speaking, what Bitcoin does, the whole market is going to follow it as well. So that's the first thing that you got to get a bias of. So the bias for today is very clear that Bitcoin has fallen and these other coins have fallen as well, right? So let's take a look, jump right into Bitcoin's daily close. So the way that I look at the market is through price action analysis. These tell us a story of what has happened. Okay, whenever you see a big wick like this to the upside, What it refers to is the bulls have attempted to push to the upside, but they were rejected. Whenever you see the shooting star type candle, which is like the opposite of a hammer, but upside down, it shows you that there's a resistance. At the end of an uptrend, this is going to usually show momentum for the next day being fairly bearish, especially now that we've reached the bottom. So these two candle combinations together is pretty scary. Phil, seni seviyorum. Beni seviyor musun? So yeah, if you guys don't know, benim eşim Türk. Every day Türkçe öğreniyorum. So I'm studying Turkish every day, I'm saying, and my wife is Turkish. So whenever you get a combination like this, which is a doji at the top of an uptrend, followed by a shooting star, these two combinations are usually going to dictate that today is going to be a bearish day. So we've actually gotten to a high of about 21,700. My portfolio, the public one, took a beating. And of course, my main portfolio took an even bigger beating as well. In my main portfolio, you're going to see it move up and down $20,000 to $50,000 a day, depending on what day it is, right? So right now on the weekly, okay, on the weekly moving average, if I go to Bitfinex here, I go to Bitfinex because it's been around longer, and it shows a 2 to 2 week moving average. We're still below it by a pretty significant amount. It's going to be a big question of if we're going to crawl back up here. So let me just say I changed this here. Let's say I change this to 300 moving average. Okay, what we see is that the previous 300 moving average was just grazed around 3,700 in March of 2020. So the question is, are we going to hit this 300 moving average and actually continue to the upside? So that's going to be a question on everyone's mind right now. In terms of volume, let's just briefly glance at Bitcoin's volume here and see how it's been looking. Go to historical data, and it's going to show you the volume. We're going to see that Bitcoin rallied on the weekend, right? That's how we did $42 billion of volume that day. Huge 24-hour volume. And then we slowly dwindled to 35, 30, and then 28. So at the top of an uptrend, after the rally ends, if the volume is significantly dropping here, it's starting to show less interest in general about buying and pushing to the upside. So because of this, it was starting to slowly give us a gauge that a short-term top was now actually coming in. Okay, so Bitcoin right now on the weekly, it's still looking bad, I have to admit. It's looking absolutely horrendous here. If you like, there's no support at all. This is not a support type candle, despite it being only a few days into the week, right? On the 4-day though, that's the good news. The 4-day shows a hammer candle with decent volume. Whenever you get a candle like this at the beginning of at the end of a downtrend with a 15% rejection, there's a really good potential for us to move to the upside. So now this entire structure is completed. We're gonna see if these key levels end up holding. This is a pretty strong support zone for now, okay? And of course, the next one's most likely gonna be down over here, I'm gonna imagine. Anywhere between here is a pretty strong support zone. If we end up holding here, we could probably end up getting a rally to the next potential high here. So let's see if we hold it. Of course, failures can happen all the time. So right now, in terms of dollar cost averaging, it's still a really good time to buy Bitcoin. Whenever you start to see news that Bitcoin is bearish and it needs to be sold off, and Bitcoin's coming to an end, the market's collapsing, you know, Bitcoin's fake, it's not real currency, everyone's going to sell off in the future. Whenever there's massive fear in the market, it's usually a really good time to start dollar cost averaging. That's my personal opinion. So I think that right now Bitcoin's going to be correcting today and probably a little bit of tomorrow as well. And let's see if a new bounce occurs. I would imagine that this break of this high right here, we're probably going to get a bullish momentum to the upside. If it rallies 5%, we're probably going to see a lot of coins rally 5, 10, 20% as well. So let's see if this support holds, say above 19,500. Okay, so to SNX and waves now. SNX yesterday had the biggest rally of 157% in the past few days. It finally reached the resistance. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch it because it was too early for me. I wasn't quite available yet. I definitely would have shorted that right there. It's dropped already 11%. And now SNX has certainly reached a conclusion already with an RSI bearishly diverging, MACD crossovers across the board on multiple time frames. So this coin, I actually didn't really trade it that much, surprisingly, because when the rally happened, usually these bull rallies start to begin at around 3 in the morning, right? If you take a look at the time for most of these rallies, here's 5, 6, 7. Here's the previous day as well. Here's the rally, right? It drops. Here's the rally at 2 in the morning, and then it goes upwards 16%. Here as well, here's 4 in the morning, and then it rallies 60%. So it's always at the daily candle close. That's where you're getting a lot of the momentum. That's gonna end. So when the daily closes, that's where a lot of things can happen. If it's gonna be a drop, it's gonna happen shortly after the daily. If there's gonna be a big rally, it's gonna happen after the daily closes. So this one here, here's 5 in the morning, right? Here's the next one right here, 4 in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning. So being in Turkey is really difficult to trade because it's 3 in the morning for me, unfortunately. So Waves had a massive drop. I caught this one with the group. I only played $20,000. I only made $1,000 on it this morning. And the reason I closed it was honestly because I wanted to have breakfast. I closed it right around this range, and then we ended up dropping another 7%. It was really obvious this coin could have dropped because if you zoomed out on the daily, what you're seeing is a huge resistance that touches all these daily wicks to the upside. And then going to the lower time frame, what you're seeing is an ascending triangle. Removing that for a minute, you see this as an ascending triangle. So ascending triangles can go either way, right? They can break to the upside. That's where you long it and risk 1%. Although my recommendation, if you long these breakouts to the upside, risk 1% and set your stop slightly back on the inside in case there's a wick that pokes down. And then the other option is if it breaks downwards, what you want to do is you want to short it on the break. You got to go to a really low time frame and you want to short it on the break, okay? So as soon as it breaks to the downside, you can enter, but you must set your stop loss for slightly above back on the inside. Otherwise, you risk getting taken out. And then you can always wait till there's a retest as well, but the retest may never happen, okay? So if I rode this a little bit further, that $1,000 profit, it would have turned into a $3,000 profit almost. So let's go to Cryptolume scanning. Cryptolume is the site that I use, cryptolume.co, that I use that has an aggregate of all the coins. Actually, no, I shouldn't say aggregate. You can choose and specify which coins on which exchange you want to take a look at. And I'll show you guys how I quickly use it to give me an indication of how to find these setups really quickly during the day. It's also going to give us a gauge of the overall market and quickly summarize the R size, the percentage moves, and the volume as well. So the first thing I do is I go to the daily, okay? I take a look and I say to myself, what is oversold or overbought? You can sort this. So right now, not a lot of things are that overbought or that oversold anymore. A few days ago on Saturday, we saw RSIs under 20 for almost every coin. So we know because it's between 30 and 70, there's not that many opportunities right now. But maybe on a smaller time frame, we can find a day trading opportunity by sorting through the 4-hour. Does this make sense? This is how I'm able to profit immensely by finding coins to trade every single day. So I'm kind of giving you guys a lot of my trade secrets if you can't tell already. But even though I find these trade setups with you guys in my daily stream, I'm going to be trading with my Discord group. If you guys are interested in joining my Discord group, I hate shilling and I won't ever in these videos. I've committed to that. Just take a look below though. I'm not going to spend a lot of time shilling, don't worry. So take a look on the link below. Join my Discord group where you can come trade with me and discuss it as a group. So anyways, on the 4-hour, we're not seeing anything oversold or overbought either. Nothing is substantially high except for waves, right? But because we see waves high RSI, but we don't see it on the 5, the 15, or the 30, that generally means that the rally has already happened. That's why you're seeing these guys here red, red, red. Whenever you see this table light up green, like let's say it's red and then starts to flash to orange and then to green, that's where you know the market is moving substantially. Let's see if anything's picked up in volume. SHIB has picked up a lot. Oh, I forgot to look at SHIB. SHIB moved a substantial amount yesterday too. So 1,000 SHIB. So SHIB moved a big amount. And let's see how it actually ended up correcting. Woo! That's a gigantic drop. That's a 21% drop. Wow, that was huge. See what I mean, guys? Right here, the break, I was looking at it all night till about 1 in the morning. And of course, what happens? Take a look. Take a look at the time. The time is around 3 in the morning. That's the daily candle close. That's where shit happens all the time. 3 in the morning, literally, that's when it started dumping. This candle right there, 3 in the morning exactly. I'm not up at 3 in the morning. I don't know a lot of people that are day traders, right? So that's why always keep it in your mental mind that like daily candle closes are extremely important, okay? So back to Cryptolume here. On the volume, of course, SHIB, Waves, ZIL, these are all the coins that rallied yesterday. Is there anything moving a big amount right now? Well, there is Waves that we know about yesterday already, but now it started to correct 20% already. So we missed that boat. Is there anything in the 4 hour that picked up volume? Nothing picked up volume. Anything in the 30 minute that moved? We see that Mask moved a pretty good amount. All of these fields, see, notice how it's orange and green lighting up, and then the R sides on the low time frames, the 5 and the 15. Notice that this right here is green, orange, and it's going to green now. And these guys here are now over 70. That means you should point your attention to it because it's probably rallying right now. So that's how I'm able to find coins. Do you see this? Just by using Cryptolume, I'm able to instantly find coins that are volatile. Did you guys just see what I did there, right? So I went to Mask and I see that it's rallied 13%. So I've got this Cryptolume on another window on the top right, and it's always cycling. Sorry, my window's open. I've got people outside. I hope that the noise is not bothering you. I've always got this in a different window, and I've got this macro that automatically cycles through it. Let's see if I can show you guys it. It's called Cryptolume scanning, okay? And I'm just gonna show you guys it. See, it's going by itself. So every 15 seconds, without my hands, you guys are gonna see it go to the next column now. So it always sorts through the columns. So it moves the price to the highest. Each column, it clicks on it automatically. So it sorts it. So I don't have to keep looking at it and clicking on it. If you guys want this script for iMacros, let me know because it's really handy. So it goes through all of these columns every 5 minutes, and it helps me find day trading opportunities that you wouldn't believe. So it's really, really, really helpful. Anyways, I'm just going to stop it now. So Cryptolume doesn't indicate much for us today, unfortunately. And the next thing that I do to find a coin is I go here, okay? I go to my main list and I just click on change. Has anything moved up a lot or down a lot? We know MTL is moving right now, okay? That's a pretty hot coin to be looking at. I'm going to put that on my watch list just to see. And because it's going against Bitcoin right now. Have you noticed? Bitcoin's going down and MTL is actually going up. So that's always a good coin to be looking at to see what's trading against Bitcoin. Now, another thing I do is I sort it by what's moved down the most, because the coin that's moved down the most will generate a potential to actually find a long. So we know that coins like SHIB, right? SHIB has moved down significantly, 20%. There might be an opportunity to long it. We know that Waves has moved down 15%. There might be an opportunity to catch dip when it reaches oversold conditions. And then there's also SNX, right? That's dropped a significant amount. So these coins, even though they've rallied yesterday, they've dropped now, they still provide an opportunity, okay? You know what, cool? We're gonna, in terms of Bitcoin, I'm sorry to say this, guys, but I don't think that the bull rally is quite here yet. We'll have a temporary relief rally, but in terms of actually rallying to 70K, hey, it might still happen this year, but I've got a feeling that we're going to be quite bearish up until even November. And the reason for this is simply because of regulation. We need regulation to go through. The SEC needs to start regulating stable coins, in my opinion, right now. And I think a lot of big money are going to come in eventually when it's more regulated and safer for them. Right now, it's all speculation in crypto. There's not a lot of new money coming into crypto. to get that huge money coming in, it needs to be regulated. That's going to attract more potential big whales and investors. So it's going to be a long road, but if you weather the storm and this cold winter, I think there's potential for everybody to make a gigantic amount of money. This is not financial advice, but just going to the public portfolio. So my personal portfolio, I manage over 7 figures, but for the public portfolio, right now I'm managing $27,000 for you guys, just to see how I do it with the spreadsheet right now. And the top picks that I have are Bitcoin, Polygon. Yesterday it was up about $1,000, but here, not so much today. So Bitcoin, Polygon, or Matic, you might know it as, Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, Avalanche, and also STEP.APP. STEP.APP is doing really, really well considering I won 3. STEP.APP is a move to earn, and I got 3 loot boxes, so I'm really excited to see what they're going to give me. Who knows what they could be worth? It could be in the hundreds to the thousands. So that's a pretty... If you want my referral, it's down below. I'm a big fan of all these coins. You're more than welcome to take a look at it. In my main portfolio now, I've got 12 coins that I'm managing, and 40% of it is actually Bitcoin. 60% of it is in the 11 alts, and it's managing over 1.4 million right now. And I hope to grow that into something incredibly substantial in the next 3 to 4 years. I'm talking about maybe quadrupling or even tripling it, which is going to be my retirement money. If Bitcoin ends up getting to about $100,000, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think I'll be in crypto anymore, this actively at least. I've still got some massive goals to help people and certain numbers that I want to reach, and I want to see Bitcoin through to the very, very end, right? So Step N, I've completely abandoned that project already. Step N, I sold off. It just wasn't really worth my time. I moved on to another move to earn. They're big, fun projects of mine as well. So just to summarize this video, I don't want to keep it going for too long. I think that Bitcoin's going to be correcting today. Definitely going to find some correction today, or find some level of support. There might be another wave to the upside. If we break above this high in the next few days or this week, 21,700, I'm going to guess anywhere between about 23,000 here to 25,000 will hit. And the very bullish side, optimistically, it'd be nice if we got to around 29,000, because if this were correcting the entire wave structure, oh, my bad. This one over here, this entire wave structure, 29,000 would be the 382 Fibonacci retracement. But we've got a lot of ways to go and a lot of support to be found. In terms of day trading opportunities today, because Bitcoin's correcting and the market is already incredibly fearful, there's not really a lot of coins that I can recommend to trade today, but it's still early in the day. I'm looking at, of course, MTL here, that's rallying big time. I'm looking at a bounce on SNX, possibly SHIB, and waves as well. API is done to me. ZIL, I'm not looking at that coin anymore. NKN, I'm done with this guy as well. So thank you very much for joining me for this live stream. I'll try to find you day trading opportunities from a technical analysis perspective every single day. I know there's not too many people watching these videos of mine right now, but I just want to get more active in the community and share my thoughts and show you guys what I can do with my experience. And hopefully you can pick up a few tricks here and there. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you watching my videos always, and have a great day.